Hi everyone, this is Neetu Sugandh. In this lesson, I'll be discussing 10 grammatical errors to avoid, something that effective speakers totally run away from. You could call it like a crash course in grammar, where if you avoid these errors, you will see an instant improvement in the way you're talking. If you like my videos, you can follow me on this link and do rate, review, recommend, and share. So let's begin. Yes, you will definitely see an instant improvement in grammar if you avoid these common errors. Number 1, uncountable nouns. I have noticed many people use uncountable nouns in a plural form, which is incorrect because they cannot be counted. So we do not put an S at the end. Let me share some examples. For example, I have many informations for you is incorrect. The correct one is I have a lot of information for you. So you're not really adding an S to the word information. These datas are important. Even if it's a lot of data, you would say this data is important. The whole data together would be considered an uncountable noun. Your hairs are nice. No, that's incorrect. We always say your hair is nice. So there are two errors here. One is it cannot be hairs. It's always hair. We counted. It's an uncountable noun. We presume that we cannot count hair. And you always say is nice. You don't say your hair are nice. Your hair is nice is the correct version. Sarah gave me some advices. That's incorrect. Sarah gave me some advice. Even if she's given you, let's say, 5 pieces of advice, you would say she gave me some advice because you're not really counting that. So that's number 1. Number 2 is irregular nouns. Irregular nouns are those which when we convert them into plural form, we do not add an S or an ES. So here are some common errors. I've heard people say he has many women's in his team. Now that is incorrect. He has many women in his team. So the plural of woman is women. We cannot depend on persons who don't update the reports on time. We don't say persons, we say people. When we, for a person, when we make a plural, we say people. So instead of saying this, we'll say we cannot depend on people who don't update the reports on time. You have 2 foots. Again, foots is incorrect. We say feet. You have 2 feet. So these are 3 common words that I noticed people pronounce incorrectly. And effective speakers are very conscious about all these little grammatical errors. The next one is the article the and the proper noun. Now the article the cannot be used with proper nouns. We don't say I'm from the India. That's incorrect. We say I'm from India. The John is polite. That's incorrect because John is a proper noun. John is polite. That's the correct one. This is the Bob Smith. That's totally incorrect. This is Bob Smith. So whenever you pronounce your name, it's a proper noun. You will not add the article the. Now there are some exceptions to this rule. When we say United States, now that's a group. So in that case, we would use the article the. So we would say I went to the United States. Or this is Smith's residence is incorrect. This is the Smith's residence. Why do we use the here? Even though we would say this is John Smith, but this is the Smith's residence because the here is representing a specific residence of a person. And whenever there's something specific, we always use the article the. Okay, the next one is the placement of I. English is a very nice language in which we always say that put yourself in the end. So we would never say I and Mark will resolve the issue. We would say Mark and I will resolve the issue. So you're putting yourself in the end whenever there are more than one nouns. Geeta, I and Robert will follow up with the executive. That's totally incorrect. Geeta, Robert and I will follow up with the executive. So again, I'm putting I in the end. One of my class teachers used to tell me, you put the donkey in the end. So she used to refer to us as donkeys. But that is not what I would say. You put yourself in the end. Be generous. Okay, unnecessary usage of itself, only, now and basically. I have noticed many people use these words unnecessarily. They're not really required at certain places. So that becomes redundant. I'm from India only. That's incorrect. You don't need to use the word only here. I'm from India. I'm from Delhi itself. This is a very common one that I've heard. I am from Delhi, or I'm from Mumbai, or I'm from Banaras. You will not say I'm from Banaras itself. That itself is not required here. You heard me, na? Now, na is not needed in this sentence. So you can say, have you heard me? So rather than asking a question like, you heard me na, that becomes very Indian way of saying it. So you'd rather say, have you heard me? Basically, I'm a writer. That's again incorrect. Basically is not needed unnecessarily. I'm a writer would suffice. That's the correct one. The next one is stative verbs in ing form. Stative verbs are verbs that represent a state. A state, for example, you will not, run is an action verb, but think is a stative verb because it's representing the state of a person. So stative verbs cannot be used in an ing form. That's the rule. So smell is a stative verb. So you'll never say the food is smelling good. You would say the food smells good. The reason for this is that we say that, whenever it's a stative verb, it exists for a long period of time. You don't suddenly stop being in that state. So if you're thinking something, you'll think for a long time. So if you smell food, you will not smell it for just 2 seconds and it'll get over. So that's why we don't use them in an ing form, because ing represents continuity for a specific period of time. So food is smelling good is incorrect. The food smells good is correct. I am loving the feedback he gave me. That's incorrect. I love the feedback he gave me. So we will not use loving, but we would say love. A lot of people tell me that, is that phrase, I'm loving it, from McDonald's, is that correct? If I have to get down to grammatical rules, even that is incorrect. I am feeling that you're not at fault. That's also incorrect. You don't feel for a little while that somebody is not at fault. If you don't feel that they're at fault, then you would say, I feel that you are at fault. I am hearing you is again incorrect. I hear you is the correct one. So we're not going to use hear, feel, love, smell in an ing form. Even this one, are you understanding me? Now you don't understand someone for a short time. You understand them, right? So we would say, can you understand me? Or do you understand me? We would not say, are you understanding me? That's incorrect. I'm having fever is very, very commonly used by people. It's incorrect. The correct one would be, I have fever. Have cannot be used in an ing form. It's, I have fever. You will not say, I'm having fever. Now, if you use the word having, that becomes eating. That means eating. So there are exceptions. I'm having food is right because here it means eating. I'm hearing voices. Now, ideally, hear is a stative verb. So we should not be using ing after it. But in this case, it means imagining. So the meaning's changing. So these are exceptions. Rahul is seeing her. Here he's not really looking at her, but he is dating her. That's why seeing in this case would be correct. But if you have to remember a simple rule, whenever you find stative verbs like think, believe, understand, smell, love, hate, do not use them in an ing form. You'll sound grammatically correct then. Okay, double past tense. Now this is also a very common one. People use didn't and then got together. I didn't got you is incorrect. I didn't get you. So whenever you see words like didn't or did in a sentence or a question, you will not use a past tense after it of the verb. So I didn't get you. She didn't understood is incorrect. She didn't understand. He didn't help her, again incorrect. It's double past tense. He didn't help her. That's the correct one. I did finished the work. Now after did you cannot use finished. So I did finish the work. So your verb will be without the ed. It will have normal simple present tense. I didn't got you, incorrect. I didn't get you is the correct one. She didn't understood, incorrect. She did not understand. So notice whenever there's did or didn't, the verb after that will not have ed in the end. The next one is word order in questions. Now I've heard many people, they ask questions as if it's a statement. What you are doing? Incorrect. What are you doing? Where you are going? Incorrect. Where are you going? Where you are staying? Incorrect. Where are you staying? So you have to use the correct order. Are comes before you. Okay, because it's a question, not a statement. The next one is incorrect usage of very much. Sometimes people unnecessarily use very much a lot. I've heard this very commonly, mispronounced sentence, which is, I'm very much concerned about you. So here the grammar is totally incorrect. You don't say, I'm very much concerned about you. I'm very concerned about you, or I'm concerned about you. Very much is not required. The client is very much interested in the plan. Incorrect. The client is very interested in the plan. If you want to highlight how interested the client is, you can say very interested. You don't have to say very much interested. Our trainer is very much satisfied with our scores. Incorrect. Our trainer is very satisfied with our scores. So very much should not be used unnecessarily. One of the girl or one of the girls. I've heard a lot of people say one of the girl. Whenever you use this phrase, one of the girl, you have to say one of the girls, because you're talking about that one girl from a group of girls. So one of the girl is efficient is incorrect. One of the girls is efficient is correct. One of the boy is again incorrect. One of the boys was appreciated by the customer. That's the correct one. So all I can say is, if you avoid these 10 errors, you will instantly see that you're not making those common grammatical errors made by most people. So all I can say is, be conscious, avoid these errors when you're speaking, and you will see an instant change. Till then, make sure you're conscious. Have a great day. Bye-bye.